Alright, this is my third time trying to film this specific video, and I'm kind of frustrated, so pardon me if I seem a little bit irritated, because my camera kept running out of space. And this wasn't even the first draft of this type of video that I was trying to do. But anyways, I'm Marker. Let's talk about that. So, I wanted to figure out a way to best introduce myself to the YouTube community. And I was thinking about how would be the best way to do that. And one of my earlier drafts was just me listing off 5 interesting facts about myself and just being like, oh, I like these things, and I lived here at one point in my life. And I was just like, this is boring. This isn't fun. This isn't interesting. Who cares what some kid in their bedroom has to say about, I like musicals? Well, now I'm going to do that exact thing, except by being prompted by a list. So there is a website called tagquestions.net, and they have a get to know me tag. And this tag has 371 questions. Now, obviously, I'm not going to get through all of those in one video because my camera doesn't have the capacity to be filming all of that. So, instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a random number generator. And I am going to use that to automatically generate questions for me to answer out of this list. And there might be some repeats considering that I've tried to film this exact video 2 times and it hasn't really worked. So just warning you ahead of time, if I encounter any questions I've already done and I seem a little bit like, oh, yeah, totally, yeah, okay, move on. It's probably because of that, but I'll try not to do that. So, I'm also going to be trying to film, I'm going to try and film this in one go, just to sort of show you the process that this takes, which isn't that hard, but if you want to film one of these videos yourself, it'll give you a better idea of what it's like filming it. So, onwards and upwards. So, first number, 216. I'm going to write that down. 216. What do you dislike about living in your neighborhood? Oh, I got a story about this. Okay, so, now, before I say anything that could get me in trouble, this is just something that me and my parents have theorized. So, this could very well not be the complete truth. I'm going to say that ahead of time. But I live in the Dallas area of Texas, like the Dallas suburbs. And we had a Beto sign up in our yard. Now, for those who don't know, Beto was the Senate candidate in 2018 who was running against Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is not my favorite person. And we had this Beto sign up in our yard, and one morning we realized it was missing. So, being the people that me and my parents are, my mother called the police. Because it's technically theft of property, because it went completely missing. It wasn't even just like kicked over or something. It was gone. And so, we called the police. They come, they file a report, and then they leave. 5 minutes after, we look out into the front yard, and it's suddenly back, but it's not in a very obvious place. It's in a place at the edge of the yard, where we wouldn't be able to see it from the window. We had to go outside. And it's right by our next door neighbors, who we know are very conservative. Draw what conclusions you will from that. But yeah, my least favorite part about living in the neighborhood is I feel like I'm surrounded by a lot of people who don't have similar beliefs to me and have beliefs that would directly interfere with me being able to be who I am. Though we do have some nice neighbors on the other side of our house, Cecilia and Leah. Bless them. Bless them. Bless them for being good people. Next question is 352. Which is 352. Would you rather have $1 million in your bank account or an IQ of 145 plus? Well, the thing is, while having a high IQ is nice, theoretically, I'm not interested in math or science. I'm not interested in becoming a business person. I'm not interested in doing anything that really flexes my mental superiority. I like the arts a lot more. So having $1 million could set me up in a nice house in New Jersey where I could commute to New York every day and work. So I'd kind of rather have that than I would want an IQ of 145 plus. Though I know that makes me sound a little bit shallow, but for my own personal preference. I'm not saying everyone should pick that. 161 is our third, and it is... scroll past it. What is on the walls of the room you are in? A bunch of shit. As you can see right there, there is a little red palm thing. There's also a little yellow one there and a little... oh, that's painting. I'm trying to figure out what the other ones are. There's a green one off screen to that side. And where's the blue one? Okay, there was a blue one. But mostly there's art stuff, some paintings I've done that are not very good. There's a Deadpool poster right to this wall right here, because this is a wall. I got some little triangular shelves, a chalkboard. I might do a whole tour of my room one day when I actually get it cleaned up. But yeah, that's what's on the walls of the room I'm in. I also have some markers and a bunch of stuff hanging from these little clips, like bumper stickers that I don't have a car to put on, and some show tickets and playbills and stuff like that that I've seen. But yeah, let's see here. Number 4 is 112. Let's see. What is your most embarrassing moment? Oh, I have a lot. My most embarrassing moment, though. Well, okay, if we're going embarrassment as in I'm able to look back on it and kind of laugh. Because I've had a lot of embarrassing moments that I still can't laugh about. But I guess the most embarrassing moment I've had that I can look back on and laugh is, this is a good story. So, my family, we're upper middle class, so we go on trips. And we went on a European Mediterranean cruise once, or me and my mom and my grandparents did. My dad was busy with work. And I'm sitting there in the teen area of the boat, which basically just has a bunch of video games and stuff like that for teens to play and hang out with each other. And I'm sitting there in this, like, kind of comfy chair, playing, I think it was Mario Kart. I'm playing Mario Kart, and I was playing as Rosalina, for those wondering. And this girl walks in, and she is really cute. She is very pretty. She has this wonderful smile, and my heart just kind of does the whole thing, you know? And I looked to her, and this person who I had met before on the boat was like, "Oh, hey, Marker, you should talk to Quinn." And I'm just like, I look at Quinn, who's this really pretty girl, and I'm just like, "Hey." Like, my voice literally cracked so badly right then. And she just kind of smiles and was like, "Hey." And long story short, about almost 1 to 2 years later, I'm still dating her. And she says that that's the moment she fell in love with me. So it's embarrassing in the sense that I was very awkward when I first met her. But I quickly warmed up to talking to her, and she liked talking to me, I think, and we hit it off. So, long story for one of my favorite moments in my life. Number 89 is the 5th question is, 89. Okay, I've answered this question before in one of my previous filmings, but do you prefer that people shoot straight with you or temper their words? And why? Now, basically, I know that I have a really bad temper. I have this something that we'll talk about in later videos is I show signs of having a disorder that's known as emotional hyperarousal. It is sort of side diagnosis connected to ADHD, and a lot of people who have ADHD have it, but it's not really well known outside of people who have ADHD, or not even among a lot of people who have ADHD. But basically what emotional hyperarousal means is when you feel emotions, you feel them a lot stronger than most normal people do. And so I have stronger reactions to things. I have stronger reactions to things that are smaller and that wouldn't affect most people. And that's a little bit frustrating for me because I wish that I wasn't like this. But when it comes down to whether or not I would want people to temper their words or be honest with me, I guess for their sake, I'd have to say to temper their words. Because I don't like getting mad at people, but it's just a physical, like, I'm angry, I can't stop this. Because I also have impulse control issues, which means I say things before I even have time to think them over. So, yeah. Next is 349. Which would be, the video stopped recording, but would you rather drink carbonated drinks or fruit juice? This is, okay, I'm going to make this a little bit more dramatic than it needs to, but fruit juice, when carbonated, is delicious. But fruit juice is also delicious without carbonation. So, really, you win either way. You win if you have carbonated drinks or if you have fruit juice. But for health concerns, fruit juice is theoretically a little bit better, even though it's still really sugary. So, that's my answer. Now, 355 is the next one. We have done 7 so far. Yeah, 355 is the next one. Would you rather have a big stomach or fat cheeks? Oh. I have both right now. At least I perceive myself as having both. But, I guess I would have to say I would kind of rather have bigger cheeks, because having a big stomach, it gets in the way of you being able to exercise, and that's really embarrassing and frustrating. And I don't exercise a lot, but it's when I do, I don't want to be humiliated. Alright, next question is 195. 95. What is the strangest thing you believed as a child? Okay. As a kid, I thought that, okay, this is a little short story, but I remember for a very short time as a kid, I thought that if you shone a flashlight up at the sky, you'd be able to see the stars better. I don't know where that logic came from, but I did it one night. And the neighbors saw the flashlight in the window, thought someone was robbing the house, and called the police. And they showed up at our door at 10 o'clock at night. And my dad's like, "What are you doing up there?" And I'm like, "Nothing." And he's like, "Come down here." And I see the police officer and I'm like, oh, okay. And I guess that could theoretically be a most embarrassing moment too, but that one I'm still kind of sensitive about for some reason. But the next question is 201. Wow. What piece of technology can you not live without? I'd say my laptop. Like, I could theoretically live without a phone, even though it'd be a lot harder to communicate with people, but I love playing video games on my laptop too much. And plus it's easier to type stuff down, and I do a lot of online typing. So, last question. 313. We made it, folks, to the final question, and it is, when was the first time you were on a plane? Oh, my parents have been taking me on a plane for a really long time because we never really lived close to people that we were related to. So probably when I was like less than a year old. So I definitely don't remember it. But yeah, air travel, it has started to give me anxiety over the last year or so, but it's still definitely worth it if you get to see really cool people and you get to go really cool places. So while I'm still terrified of the plane crashing, I'm not as terrified as I am of getting sick at the fish market in the location where I landed. So, yeah. So, that's basically 10 little interesting facts about Marker. If you would like to see a second part in this little video series, I'd be happy to do it. Just comment down below, and why don't you click that like button if it's right down there, I think. Probably not correct, because YouTube changes up everything so quickly. And also, why don't you subscribe? I'm going to put a little thing right there. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!